So hello everyone, today we are going to learn about the Carnot cycle. There are various thermodynamic cycles such as Otto cycle, Diesel cycle, Rankine cycle, Brayton cycle, and today which we are going to learn, that is Carnot cycle. Okay, so first we are going to learn about what is exactly the Carnot engine is. So it is a theoretical engine which is free from all the practical imperfections and cannot be realized in the practice. It has the maximum efficiency and it is an ideal heat engine. Okay, so from this we can understand that Carnot engine is a ideal engine and it has the maximum efficiency. Now this Carnot engine works on the Carnot cycle. Okay, so what exactly the Carnot cycle is? It is a thermodynamic cycle that represents the most efficient process possible for a heat engine. Okay, means it represents the most efficient process, that is most efficient process, that is its efficiency will be 100%, that is maximum efficiency. Okay, now as it has the maximum efficiency, all the heat supplied is converted to work done because efficiency is maximum, that is heat supplied is equal to the work done. Now as we have discussed previously that heat supplied is equal to work done, here are some of the conditions of the Carnot cycle. Now first is the isothermal expansion. Means during the isothermal expansion, what exactly is the condition? Okay, so during the isothermal expansion, heat supplied is equal to RT1 ln of V2 upon V1 and the work done will be as same as that is RT1 ln of V2 upon V1. Now second process is the adiabatic expansion, that is heat supplied is equal to 0. That is, as we know that adiabatic process is a process where there is no exchange of heat, that's why Q223 is equal to 0. Now simultaneously what will be the work done? Work done will be negative of Cv T3 minus T2. Now here Cv is the specific heat at constant volume. Now next is the isothermal compression, that is Q3 to 4, that is RT2 ln of V4 by V3, which is always equal to work done, that is RT2 ln of V4 by V3. And final process is adiabatic compression, that is Q is equal to 0 because it is an adiabatic process, that's why heat supplied will be equal to 0 or heat release will be equal to 0, and at that time the work done will be negative of Cv T1 minus T4. Now whatever I have explained here, let's see in the PV diagram. This is our PV diagram. So in this PV diagram, process 1 to 2, that is it was isothermal expansion, and second process was adiabatic expansion, third process was isothermal compression, and fourth process was adiabatic compression, for which we have discussed the conditions. Now this is the TS diagram of the Carnot cycle. TS diagram is the temperature versus entropy diagram of the Carnot cycle, where we can see that process 1 to 2 was isothermal expansion where heat is induced in it. Next is 2 to 3 was adiabatic expansion. Process 3 to 4 was isothermal compression, and process 4 to 1 was adiabatic compression. Now let's see the derivation for efficiency of the Carnot cycle. Now here point B and C lies on the same adiabatic curve. What exactly it says? See, point B and C lies on the same adiabatic curve. As you know, this is the adiabatic expansion. So this is the adiabatic curve, and point B and C lies on the adiabatic curve. Now therefore T1 V1 will be equal to T2 V2, T2 V3. Okay, and now we will rearrange the terms, that is T1 upon T2 will be equal to V3 upon V2. Now it is raised to gamma minus 1, where gamma is the Poisson's ratio, or it is the ratio of specific heat at constant volume to specific heat at constant pressure, that is Cp upon Cv. Okay, and simultaneously the point D also D and A also lies on the adiabatic curve. Now let's see where it lies. This is A to D lies on the adiabatic curve. Now for this condition, T1 V1 is equal to T2 V4. Now we will rearrange in terms, that is T2 is here multiply, here it goes for divide, and V4 upon V1. Okay, details together on this one. Now further from 1 and 2, that is previous equations, it is understood that V3 upon V2 is equal to V4 by V1. Now why is it so? Let's see. Okay. See, now whatever these two equations we have got are for T1 by T2 and T1 by T2. That is T1 by T2 is equal to T3 by V2. So V3 by V2 and T1 by T2 is equal to V4 by V2. So same equations we have taken and we have equated 1 and 2. So we have got this answer, and further heat direct is equal to RT1 ln of V2 by V1. These are the conditions which we have discussed previously in the table. Let me show you those conditions again. See, this one condition we have used, that is heat supplied. Heat supplied is equal to RT1 ln of V2 by V1. Same we have used further. That is heat supplied is equal to RT1 ln of V2 by V1. Now here work done is equal to change in internal energy, as we know that work done is equal to change in internal energy and heat supplied. So W is equal to Q1 minus Q2, that is heat supplied minus heat rejected. Okay. So what is it? It is equal to RT1 ln of V2 by V1 minus RT2 ln of V3 by V4. But we know that V2 by V1 is equal to V3 by V4. See here we have derived that formula. That is V2 by V1 is equal to V3 by V4. Now we will substitute the value of V3 by V4 as V2 by V1. By substituting this value in this equation, we have get this equation. Okay. Now what the equation is equal to RT1 ln of V2 by V1 minus RT2 ln of V2 by V1. Now taking out the common. Now what is common in this? R and ln of V2 by V1. Now we will take out this common, that is R ln of V2 by V1 minus into T1 minus T2. That is we have taken out the common R ln of V2 by V1 and whatever left inside is T1 minus T2. Now we know the equation of efficiency is work done upon heat supplied, that is how much work is done after supplying the heat energy. Okay, so net work is given as R ln of V2 by V1 into T1 minus T2 upon Q1. What is the equation of Q1? We have got RT1 ln of V2 by V1. Now cancelling out the common, that is R ln of V2 by V1 ln of V2 by V1. Whatever left here is T1 minus T2 upon T1. So this is our equation of efficiency of the Carnot cycle. Hope you everyone have understood this. Thank you so much.